through all your great experiences. You also a big fan of East Chicago Central program still as well. And so, as you know, we have the best of the best topics.
Right.
Start off with football first, and we're going to go with best quarterback.
Best quarterback. Okay, so I pay attention to what's going on. There's like some good guys I actually never got a chance to see, like the Frazier kid that I've been hearing a lot about, and there's a couple other guys that played that I didn't get a chance to see. So I hope that you don't take this as a as a slight or anything like that. I mean, I'm sure you guys put up great numbers. I know you did. But as far as like the ones that I've actually seen or played with would be, quarterback Eric Irvin, because of the fact that the guy had a cannon arm. I mean, he was accurate. I mean, he could run, he could scramble, he can get out of it. I mean, I wish he would have threw me more balls, but I mean,
Yeah.
But that's just being a receiver. But as far as talent is concerned, the guy was just raw. I mean, if he would have been somebody that they could have actually helped him through school and say, okay, get him to a college program, we'd have been talking about him in the NFL, because he would have put on some more weight. I mean, he was 6'2". He could have been an NFL quarterback, I think.
Running back.
Running back, I would say Martell France. Guy put up extraordinary numbers. Really, really great runner, great vision. I love the way he carried the ball. When nothing was there, he would find that crease and get to the outside, or he'll run somebody over. So Martell, hands down, is the best running back that I've seen, play at Central. Now, there's some couple of other good ones. I mean, that guy Martavius Carter that's there right now, that's a senior. He's really good too. But as of we standing right now, I would say P.
Fullback.
Fullback, I didn't see a lot of fullbacks playing. I mean, the only ones that I'm really aware of would be Royce Love. I hear that Carl Biddies is a great fullback in his own right, and I'd love to get him props. So if I could say you guys are tied, I would say you and Royce would be the top fullbacks of Central of all time.
Appreciate it. Wide receiver.
Wide receiver, well, I put a question mark up for that, because when I'm watching the games, I'm trying to see who out there has that it factor at receiver. And there's some guys, there's some great guys that played after me. And I wouldn't even say that I was the best wide receiver of all time, because I didn't put up numbers like these other guys did. I mean, I probably could have. I mean, even my cousin Antoine Kennedy, great, big size, big receiver. He was playing with injuries though. I mean. But if he could have stayed healthy, he probably would have been the best wide receiver. So I don't know if do I get a pass on this? Or
No.
Do I have to give something?
No.
So, all right. Well, let's see here. Let's say I'm the greatest receiver of all time. How about that? I'm being a receiver. Hey.
Yeah, I was going to say that, because pretty much all the wide receivers throughout Central history have the same problem. Running the ball, not enough touches.
Right.
And so with your numbers, seeing like your senior year, 20 catches, but you had over 450 yards. You catching the ball 20 yards a pop.
Right. Yeah.
And those are good numbers.
I was known. I wasn't the fastest guy out there. I always prided myself in running the right routes. Because if you ran the right route, the D-back doesn't know where you're going. You know where you're going. If the quarterback gets you the ball, you can either be wide open or the ball's going to be right there and you make a play. I mean, first downs. I mean, the average of 20 yards a catch. I mean, you can't beat that.
Exactly. Tight end.
Tight end. I don't remember too much about play at tight end. I know I played with Debry Coleman. He was pretty good at tight end. Kimber Fry was a real good tight end also. So I would probably say Kimber as far as catching ability, because I believe Kimber probably played on a college level also, if I'm not mistaken. Because after I left school, first couple of years I didn't know where the guys went, but I think that
Kimber Fry went to Moreno Valley.
Okay, so yeah. And I mean, Debry was a good inline tight end. I mean, he was good at blocking. He actually played both ways, but I would give Kimber, as far as the pass catching tight end, it would be Kimber.
Okay. Offensive lineman.
Offensive lineman, the best one. You talking about just across the board, right?
Across the board.
The best offensive line would probably be Rob Smith, going to the big guy in Nebraska. Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defensive lineman.
Defensive lineman, I would say Alf Robertson. Alf Robertson.
Yeah.
Alf was a beast. I
Yeah.
mean, he was dirty. He was a dirty dog down in those trenches on defense. I mean, he played both ends of the ball too. So, but he brought it all the time. I mean, he would get in, and make big plays for us. And like I said, the guys that played after us, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of. I mean, Keywan Short. I mean, he probably would be the best one, when it's all said and done. Considering that, draft pick for the Carolina Panthers. But, from what I played with, I would say Alf would be the best. Linebacker. I'm going to steal this pick from my homeboy Anthony Haspart. That we actually played with this guy, Dennis Navosky. This guy Dennis, I mean, he was probably maybe 5'7", maybe 180 pounds, but this guy brought it. I mean, this is a dude that when we played against Bishop No, he broke his helmet on rusty sets coming through the middle. I mean, then he continued to play. They had to get the guy another helmet and was still bringing it. I mean, I think his senior year he had 80 tackles. I think he got middle linebacker. He made all the calls for us. I mean, my cousin A.D. Knowles was a great linebacker also. I mean, you look at the size. Big Cheese had everything too. But as far as like, playing, I played 2 years with Dennis. I played 1 year with my cousin, A.D., and so I had to give Dennis the nod.
DB.
Defensive back, hands down, would be Damon Glenn. Damon, super fast. University of Wisconsin scholarship athlete. We went against each other a lot. And hopefully, practicing against each other made him a better defensive back because I felt that at practice nobody could ever. When I on the field, I think nobody could check me. But I mean, he was always out there, making plays on the ball. And another shout out to I'll probably give the shout out to would be Corey Battle, which, is my cousin. But, the funny thing about C-Boy is that he only played football 1 year. And he's a basketball player, but he came out for his senior year and, never gave up a touchdown. I think until maybe, the last game of the season. I mean, but, he was our shutdown. He was our Dion at the time. He wore number 20.
Yeah.
But he had the swag like Dion because he would be like, we'll be in the huddle. Well, I played defense sparingly. I used to play both ways, but my senior year I didn't play that much defense because we had a lot of athletes. But when they was in the huddle on defense, C-Boy was never in the huddle. It was like he had his own things like I'm gonna check this guy one-on-one. Y'all running cover 2, whatever y'all doing, y'all blitzing. I'm shut down this guy just so.
Wow.
C-Boy is like a 1A, but Dave McGlynn, considering the fact that he put in big numbers. Had a great career in high school and, was a scholarship athlete in Wisconsin. I'll give him a nod.
Specialist.
This may be a little controversial. It is a little biased because I would say that my brother Andre Dowdell is probably the best specialist to play at EC Central. And the reason why I say that is because my brother played special teams when he was on kick return. Majority of the time, I don't know what his average was on his kickoff returns, but I remember going to a couple of games when I came back home. I would see a bust, a big one. And I remember going to one game where we came late and Central got the kickoff. And when we were actually walking into the stadium, my brother was running for a touchdown. I mean, he had that kind of skill. And, I wish he would have just kept with football. And I could have been like, yeah, that's my brother, doing big things at Grand Valley State. But it didn't happen, but I would say that my brother Andre Dowdell was the best specialist at Central for the limited amount of touches that he had.
Best player, regardless of position, ever at Central.
Ever all time, I would say Martell France. This guy, I mean, you're gonna probably see it in a different interview on him as far as the greatest that never was. I mean, this guy should have been, first round draft pick, on somebody's NFL team. We should have been able to say, yeah, I remember Ping when when he was a little kid and he played, a couple years in the NFL or whatever. But he is the best because he put up the most numbers. I think, with the limited amount of time that he played.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, his impact on football, when he actually played. I mean, his impact was, I don't think anybody had the great impact like he had. You're talking about a guy that's scoring, maybe 6, 7 touchdowns in a half. That's unheard of. I mean, that's Madden type stuff. So I mean, I would give the nod to Penny. I mean, if he's the best running back, EC Central is known for running the ball. Therefore, Martell France is the best player of all time.
As you know, basketball is our staple in the city of Chicago. Very interested in hearing who's your starting five with basketball is going to be. So let's start off with point guard.
Okay, well, since majority of my basketball experience was being a fan, throughout high school watching the guys play, I would say Delmar Johnson was the best point guard in Chicago Central because nobody could run an offense like him. I mean, he guided Central to so many wins, and without him, I mean, like we saw our senior year when he got hurt, our season ended against Bishop Nolan in the sectional. So, I think that if he would have stayed healthy, we probably would have won state that year.
Yeah, a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Shooting guard.
Shooting guard, I would say Etwan Moore. I had the chance to see him play in high school when they won the state championship. Awesome basketball. Of course, everybody knows, great player for Orlando Magic now. He's played great at Purdue, had great 4 years at Purdue. I followed him all the way through his college career, thought he was going to be a great player in college and thinking that he would do well on the pro level also. So I would say that Etwan is the best shooting guard.
So Etwan Moore over Charles Ricks?
It's tough. I mean, Etwan's game is more complete than Chuck. I mean, Chuck is one of my homies. I mean, I love Chuck, but Etwan, he's on a different level. I mean, this guy plays with the best basketball players in the world. So, I would give the nod to Etwan.
Small forward.
Small forward. That's a tough one because EC Central is stacked with small forwards. You're talking about Judah Parks. You're talking about Isaac Washington. You're talking about Angel Garcia. If you want to throw him into the mix, 7-foot small forward shooting 3-pointers. I mean, this guy nearly unstoppable. I mean, talk about like Tony Kukoc type of player. But I would say as far as all time. For Central, I would give it to Judah Parks because Judah Parks had more time at Central than Isaac Washington.
Gotcha.
Judah played varsity as a freshman. So he had 4 years of EC Central basketball. I believe I played 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, or was it 1 year? 1 year at Central. And Ike was a great basketball player, Hall of Famer, Indiana Hall of Famer. And I remember when we were growing up, we idolized these guys. I mean, I want to be Ike Washington. I want to be Grapevine. I want to be Golf. All those guys. I mean, but I would say Judah would be the best small forward to come through Central.
Power forward.
Power forward, I would say Udi. I mean, I remember watching this guy when he was in high school, and this guy would just be a beast in the post. I mean, get the ball in the post, make a move, and dunk on you. I mean, he didn't care who you was. The guy had skill. I mean, you probably can dunk on anybody today. If you put him out there on the court. But the guy was awesome. I mean, I enjoyed watching him through his high school career. Brought a lot of cheers to the fans of East Chicago.
Center.
Center, I would say Ricky Wright. Ricky Wright was a great player. I got to watch him through his high school years. His brother Jay Bugs. I mean, Jay Buzz was a good basketball player, but Ricky just took it. Whoa, man, he took it to another level. He played well at Villanova. He was always a guy out there that's scrapping. I mean, I don't know what he averaged in high school, but I mean, from when I've seen him play, he was always dominant on the floor. I mean, nobody could stop him. So I would give him this as far as the best center. If he actually, I don't know if they played him at power forward or center, but
both. They played both.
If he played both, then I would give him the nod for best center of all time.
Who's the best player, regardless of position, in Chicago Central?
Best player, regardless of position, would go to Etwan Moore. I give it to him because of the fact that he's a professional athlete. He played at a major program. And he's gonna do some great things for the community. He comes back and he has these camps for the kids, which is great. So I think that, when it's all said and done, I mean, even now, where he's at right now, he probably has the best numbers, I think, of all the East Chicago Central basketball players. So I'll give it to Etwan.
Gotcha. If you had any advice that you can give to the present athlete and future, what advice would that be, and what approach should they take going forward with their athletic careers?
Okay, well, what I would suggest, and being a father of an athlete that's going to college now, would be, first of all, get your grades right. Do well, do the best that you can in school. If you need help, get the help, because if you get your grades, if you can get into a university and you have great athletic skill, that's the best way to start off your life, because you're going to be able to study something that you can have as a career as opposed to a job. You have to wake up and go to a job, you're like, oh man, this is a job I have to do. If you have a career, you're going to love it. So, I mean, take advantage of your athletic skills, but, augment that with your academics, and nothing can stop you. As far as, if you're not a blue chip type athlete and you don't feel that you're getting enough exposure, what I would say is to have a family member videotape, your games. And then, everybody has cell phone cameras. They have these nice digital cameras. Make these tapes for yourself, and then you have to promote yourself, because some schools, they don't know you're out there until you let them know. I mean, it may be something that they may be looking for, that you can provide to them. I mean, a great example is I was watching on TV the other day. I mean, whoever known that a Hall of Famer like Darryl Green, he wasn't even highly recruited. I think he went to Texas A&M or something, like some small school, and he's a Hall of Famer now. So, I mean, you don't have to go to a D1 school or a Division I AA school, to play sports. You can go anywhere that's going to pay for your education. Get that education, because all of us aren't going to be pro athletes. So, make sure that you set your realistic expectations and get that education. Get you a nice career. As far as if you want to go to college as an athlete, if your coaches aren't helping you out, find somebody that will. This Carl Biddings is probably a great person that you can get in contact to help you get out there. So go on his website, make sure that you log in, become a member, and see what he can do for you. You have to sell yourself, because if nobody knows you're out there, you're never going to get seen.
Stride, been a great opportunity talking to you, getting your history. As you know, I'm going to see you all the time. We got the alumni game,
Exactly.
It's payback, revenge. The trophy will come back with us.
Well, actually, the young guys had a trophy. Yeah, we got to get it from the young guys.
Yeah, got to get it back.
We got to get it back from I appreciate the chance to interview. I mean, I've seen all your interviews. You do a great job. I mean, I appreciate what you're doing. I mean, just giving us a chance to relive all the old days and spreading the word, and just make sure you just stay focused and keep this thing going. And you guys support his website, because he's doing great things for all these athletes out there. You just don't know. I mean, if you check out his athlete, he's trying to get these young kids out there. So, support him and make sure that he can get his thing done.
Appreciate it. This is Anthony Stride Dowdell. This Athletes Lives Network. Once an athlete, always an athlete.